Hey, welcome to the 10-minute daily reality check. You know, isn't that interesting, John?
Yeah.
I'm at the point right now where my brain just had a misfire, almost like a brain bump. You know, sometimes you're about to say a word.
Yeah.
Because this is probably some of the most potent information in the world. Just got off the phone with another one of my best friends, Brett Parker.
Yeah.
And Brett had a moment. And we talked, Brett and I talk every single day, 2 or 3 times a day. And Brett had this moment where he needed to talk to the Keegan, right?
Yeah, right.
And he goes, "Where's the Keegan?" He goes, "Pass the phone to the Keegan," right?
Yeah.
So we passed. I said, "Don't worry, you're on speaker." The Keegan has been listening to the entire
I was
conversation.
there the whole time.
The whole time John was there.
Yeah.
And Brett quoted a really wise man. We will call the man J.K., if you can figure that out, who J.K. is.
Yeah.
What did BP say to J.K. that made J.K. realize that J.K. might be a very, very wise man after all?
Well, he said to me some words of wisdom that once came to me from somebody else.
Right.
When I was eating at a restaurant
Peace
one
Food?
day. Peace Food Cafe.
I figured it was Peace Food.
Yeah.
It was a Peace Food Cafe waiter quote.
Yeah, it was this really great guy whose face I can see. Sam, great guy.
All right.
Actor named Sam.
Let's give a shout out to Sam.
Sam the actor.
Sam the actor. Well, maybe we'll bring him on the podcast.
If we can find him, this was a couple of years back.
We can Google him. Sam the actor. Sam the struggling actor in New York City.
Yes, but he was friends with, just in case, just so if we can link him, he was friends with the Dr. Spock guy. The guy who played Spock in the new movies.
Really?
Yeah, because he
so
was
the new Dr. Spock.
Yeah, the new Dr. Spock.
Not the old
Dr. Spock. Was he Dr. Spock?
Yeah, Spock.
Star Trek Spock.
No, he wasn't Dr. Spock.
No,
was he
Dr.
Spock?
Spock is a child guy.
Right, there was Dr. Spock. Yeah, Dr. Spock's baby birth thing,
like
right? And then there was Spock. Yeah, the ear Spock.
Yeah, okay. Whatever that guy's name is, Gregory something or other.
So the new ear Spock.
Yeah, they were friends. They were friendsies. So Sam, who's friendsies with Spock.
Got it.
From Peace Food Cafe.
Nobody knows Kevin Bacon?
Upper West Side.
Right. If it was Upper West Side, Kevin Bacon spent years
definitely there.
Oh, yeah, so there's 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon again.
He's been there, and so is his wife.
All right, good. So we got 6 degrees of bacon.
Yeah. So one day I was in there, fine dining and dining fine, and
even though their vegetables are not organic.
I mean, it was just
still a good place.
So we're talking. This must have been, I haven't lived uptown since 2010 or something. So we're talking like 7 years ago or whatever, right? So anyway, or more, and I might have been going through one of my little things, and I was talking to Sam. Sam would bring. He's kind of guy to get anyone to open up, and then he said to me, John, and his face lit up, when you ask the universe for anything at all, it only has 3 responses.
What are those 3 responses? John and Sam and Spock
and Brett.
And Brett?
And
a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people involved in this quote.
There is.
And whoever told Sam, But when you ask the universe for anything, it only has 3 responses. Yes, you can have that. Yes, you can have that, but not right now. And no, you can't have that because I got something even better for you. And that's the final. No, you can't have it because something even better is coming your way. So it's yes, you can have it. Yes, you can have it, but not right now. And no, you cannot have this because something even better is coming your way.
It's powerful.
It is powerful, isn't it?
Yeah,
because
people, when they're in turmoil, they look at the turmoil and they think to themselves, how can I have this, right? Yeah. And they go through all this process of trying to manipulate a situation or get a situation, whether it's a job they want or whether it's money they need or whether it's love they desire. And it doesn't matter what the situation is. But if they just say, no, the universe has something better, then you stop the turmoil and you stop the fucking circular thoughts inside your brain. You stop dealing with LFIs. You get off the carousel of torture and doom, and you think to yourself, wow, the universe is something better. My mother taught me that lesson. When I was 19 years old, I was boo-hooing over Chris Mueller was her name. She was my high school girlfriend. We went out. We broke up. I went to Northeastern. I pined over her. Circular thoughts the entire freshman year. Tried to hook up with other girls, but couldn't stop thinking about Chris. She called me right before I got home, and we got back together, and we had this unbelievable romance again. And then right before I was going to go, literally I went to American University, drove there, and then drove home for Labor Day weekend, and we went to see Arthur. And I remember this really well. We went to see the movie Arthur, and then Chris broke up with me after Arthur. And I was devastated. Devastated. Wow. So I went back home, and my mom was there, and she was supposed to be in the Hamptons with the family, and something happened. The whole family was home. They used to spend Labor Day in the Hamptons, but all of a sudden this year they didn't. And my mother came into my room, and she looked at me, and she rubbed my head. And, she gave me motherly advice. She says, David, she goes, I'm sorry to hear about Chris and you for the third time. She says, but she goes, you have to understand something. Even adults, even couples, even people who are married break up. One day you're going to meet somebody who's going to love you more than Chris. She's going to love you so much more than Chris from what you experienced with Chris. She's going to want to be with you, and she's going to admire you, and she's going to love you. And it literally was the same advice. The universe has something better for you. And it was the advice that I took my entire life. Every single time I ended a relationship with somebody, no matter how nice and peaceful the relationship might have been, or whatever it might have been, I knew that relationship wasn't good for me, right, on levels. I knew the universe always had something better for me. So I've always been able to end that relationship and end that relationship really well because my mother taught me that lesson. So maybe my mother one time went to a cafe on the Upper West Side, met Sam's father, met the original Spock, and flirted with the young footloose Kevin Bacon, because we need to still keep Kevin Bacon 6 degrees of separation in here.
And my father popped up from Morton, Pennsylvania into New York to talk to Brett's father.
I didn't get along with his father.
So he might have Brett's mother.
He might have flirted with Brett's mother. She was one of the best flirts in the entire world.
Brett's mother flirted with my dad.
Yes.
And then at one point it was handed down to Brett. But then it's getting confusing. But what are you saying?
Well, you handed it down to Brett.
One day Brett and I were talking on the phone and it came out.
Yeah. No, you handed it to wisdom, and that's the whole thing. Is that wisdom? When wisdom comes, I mean, if you look at Tony Robbins, he wrote Think and Grow Rich. He literally read and literally turned an entire career based on that one book because he read it somewhere. So every thought that we have, as original as we think it is, actually comes from somebody else in a moment. It could be a moment in Peace Food Cafe. It could be a moment on a subway. It could be a moment on an airplane. Once we listen to that lesson, because that's what the universe is doing, the universe is giving you the people you need to talk to at the present moment. That's why we are constantly telling you to take your iPhone and shove it up your ass, because every single time you stare at that screen, you're missing the deliverable moments, the Celestine Prophecy by James Redfield. Every time you're missing those moments that the universe is putting two people together on this plane, on this sphere, during this time, someone has a message for somebody. We're missing those. Sam, the guy who was attached, who knew the new Spock, gave John the message. John took the message, gave it to Brett. Now imagine if John wasn't an open person like he is, and he wasn't being the JK that we know and love, then he would have missed the moment with Sam, and then when Brett needed to hear that moment, when he was spiraling out of control, JK would have not been able to give him the beautiful moment, and now BP, which is Brett Parker, BP knows how to now do that moment, because BP has shared that moment with me over and over again like his own thoughts. And that's what happens when you do this. Your own thoughts, someone else's thoughts literally become your own thoughts.
It becomes part of it, more than the thought. A thought is just a thought, but it's not until it becomes the way you are, the way you be.
You live it.
It becomes the way you be, And one of my favorite books of all time is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And there was a time many years ago where I read that book and then I listened to it on audio. I'd drive around New York in this shit job I had. Well, I didn't like it anyway. And I would think, oh my God, how can I get out of this circumstance? How can I change this circumstance? And he would tell me my circumstances changed. I just kept listening to it. I'm saying hundreds of times, over and over and over and over. And eventually it became a part of me, and it became who I am in a way. It informs almost everything I do. The main lesson, though, of this thing we said to you today is faith. You have to have faith in the universe that it's conspiring for you to do good. It's conspiring for you to bring something better into your life, not conspiring against you, but for you.
I love it, man. We got to end that. Radical self-help that doesn't suck every single day on the
10-minute reality check. Come on back tomorrow.